Donald Trump just cannot seem to get out of his own way. It appears to me and others in this profession, this goofy job that I have, that Donald Trump may be just throwing in the towel. It doesn't seem as though he's attempting to win the election on the merit of his policies, of just his candidacy in general. He's out there putting up roadblocks. He's created an obstacle course for himself to attempt to navigate. And yesterday he held a press conference, I guess in an attempt to remind everyone how bad he is to women voters, of all of the litany of accusations, some that have been adjudicated in court that, he's a rapist, and others that, are just allegations. Seem pretty true, though. Another set, I'm going to talk about that in a subsequent video, but another of the accusations is Donald Trump's cozy relationship with Russia. He starts the press conference to rebuff the allegations made against him by dozens of women, dozens and dozens of women. But he started it by trying to malign the recent indictments of the people who have been wrapped up in this Russia interference $10 million payment scheme to people like Tim Pool and Benny Johnson and Dave Rubin. And Donald Trump, of course, it's a hoax. Russia, Russia, Russia. It should be Iran, 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 and China, China, China. What you would expect, the dipshittery. But I'm going to play this clip for you, and then we're going to talk about the actual facts on the ground. I'm going to read a little bit from a Daily Beast article where Russians who were involved in the thing that caused the indictments are now offering refuge to those Tim Pool types to come to Russia for protection. It's all a terrible reality that we live in. But here's Donald Trump trying to convince America that it's a hoax.
And it looks like we have President Trump coming to the podium right now in Trump Tower, New York City.
Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. This is a long and complicated web and story, but it all goes back to the DOJ and Kamala and Sleepy Joe and all the rest of them. We have a whole rigged election system. Nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening. Now I understand yesterday they're bringing up Russia, Russia, Russia again, that they've done for years. Never found anything. But they should be looking at China, 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 Iran, 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 lots of other places. I haven't spoken to anybody from Russia in years. They know that, but it's a scam. But it all goes back to the DOJ because we had a trial today. It's an appeal of a ridiculous verdict of a woman I have never met. I don't know. I have no idea who she is.
Donald Trump has one speed. It's dipshit. That's it. It's just play the hits. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. It's Kamala Harris. It's Sleepy Joe Biden. Everybody else is the cause of my problems. Has nothing to do with me and my criminality. Come on. So I'm going to read a little bit from this headline. Here's the headline. Putin pals say accused MAGA media stars should come to Russia for protection. Kremlin media hailed the bombshell influence plot uncovered by the DOJ, which it says saw millions funneled to a MAGA media group in the U.S. This week's Department of Justice indictments of the employees of Russia Today, RT, Russia's premier state-controlled propaganda outlet, have been met with mockery and jeering in Moscow. Margarita Simeon, I don't know how to say that name, sorry about that, Margarita, propagandist, RT's editor-in-chief, posted a bevy of messages on her Telegram channel, and none of them sounded like denials. In one of her first reactions on Telegram, the person mocked the authorities for being so slow to catch up to RT's nefarious activities in the United States. She wrote, "Patooey, they finally woke up." Does that sound like a hoax to you? Those MAGA individuals in the audience, the trolls who like to come into the comments, who leave me voicemails and emails, does that sound like a hoax to you. The people who were involved at the highest levels of creating and orchestrating the payments to these MAGA stars are admitting it. The unsealed indictment alleges that prominent right-wing influencers like Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Benny Johnson were secretly funded by Russian state media employees to create favorable content. Tenet Media's founders were also caught up in the indictment. While those people were not named, Lauren Chin and Liam Donovan are the only people who match that description. On Thursday, Blaze Media CEO Tyler Cardin said in a statement to Semaphore that Chen had been fired following the indictment. Lauren Chin was an independent contractor whose contract has been terminated, he said. Sounding like a hoax to you, MAGA world? Is it Blaze is firing these Russian stooges? Tim Pool and Dave, these people have all but just admitted it and saying, oh, we were unwittingly, we had no idea, we're a victim of this. Even though the money they were paid is far and above what anyone would consider reasonable. $400,000 per month for 4 videos, 1 a week, is outrageous money. And any reasonable person would say, wait a minute. I mean, if somebody came to me and said, hey, listen, Jesse, we love what you do. You're so talented. It's beyond measure, the content that you produce. And we want to pay you $100,000 per video. One, I would want them to take a cognitive test to see if they were in their right mind, because that's ridiculous. And 2, I would be curious about the source of the money and what they want for that $100,000 per video. What do you want? Because you don't get shit for nothing. Everything comes at a cost. In other posts, this same Russian lady noted that the influencers, who were allegedly showered with Russian riches to the tune of $10 million, were denying their awareness as to the source of the windfall. The head of Russia Today pointed out, bloggers, of course, deny everything, but what else can they do? In another post about the indictments and sanctions, she wrote, excellent work, team. Excellent work, team. It's not just her, though, that is talking in this way. I want to read in here that someone is a television host, and he is the one offering protection, not just to these, but also to Tucker Carlson, which should lead you to believe maybe Tucker has some involvement in all of this. The host, Vladimir Solodovov, again, sorry, if you're Russian, you speak Russian, I know, I'm not doing a great job here. He was notably shaken about the indictment of his friend Dmitry Simes, who frequently appeared on his show to condemn America's policies and justify Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This individual, whose name I cannot pronounce, and his fellow propagandists expressed alarm that Tucker Carlson might be charged next, urging the Russian government to immediately offer asylum to all involved. But it's Russia, Russia, Russia. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. It's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris coming after Donald Trump. Come on. It's absolutely nonsense for Donald Trump to say, I haven't talked to Russia for a long time. That's not what this is about. This is about Russia hoping against hope that they can influence the United States into a chaotic situation that might even result in civil war, which is why it's so interesting that Tim Pool has dozens of tweets, maybe, I don't know the number exactly, but it's certainly more than 12 of him just tweeting civil war, encouraging this type of division toward violence between Americans. And Donald Trump wants you to believe that he believes that you should believe that it's a hoax, that it's a witch hunt. Absolute bananas, the reality that we live in. I'd love to know what you think about this. Have you been tracking this? What are your opinions? You can comment below. That would be great. You can also call. Leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, you could do the old-fashioned thing and email me. That's old-fashioned now. daily@dollemore.com. If you appreciate what I do, or the manner with which I do it, if I bring you value on a video by video basis, you can help me get $100,000 per video. Never gonna happen. You can click the join button below and help me produce these videos for $2 a month. You can also go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore just about everywhere. And I will see you next time. Until then, don't participate in hoaxes, be genuine, and take care of one another.